Good morning, students. I hope so. You are all fine by the grace of Almighty. So, today's class is class 2. Okay. So, we shall learn what are the different properties of fluid here. Okay. In fluid mechanics, there are different properties of the fluids we are going to study or we are going to know here. Okay. So, what do you mean by property? So property is one in which where exactly it tells about the characteristics of the fluid, different characteristics of the fluid. That is called as property. I'll repeat. Property is one in which it tells about the different characteristics of the fluid. Okay, characteristics in essence, it tells about pressure, temperature, density, viscosity, etc. That is called as something about the characteristics of the fluid here. So, what are the different properties of fluids we are going to know in this fluid mechanics? So, one is called as density or mass density, and one is called as specific weight and weight density. Okay, specific volume, specific gravity, then what do you mean by viscosity? So in that again we are going to deal with kinematic viscosity, otherwise viscosity can, otherwise it is called as dynamic viscosity also. There is no separate bifurcation is there here. Okay, then what do you mean by Newton law of viscosity? Again it is something about viscosity, it talks about viscosity, just it tells about law. Okay, then compressibility and bulk modulus. Okay, then surface tension and capillarity. Okay, so definitely I think in all question papers if we can see uh, these like properties of fluid question will be there, that is in first A question. Okay, now what do you mean by density? Already you know, you have studied this. So it is the ratio of the mass of fluid divided by the volume of fluid here. Okay, if you take a container, if I see one like any container, okay, if m is the mass of the fluid and v is the volume of the fluid, m it is denoted in terms of kg and v is denoted in terms of meter cube. Volume always it is in meter cube. Okay, there are two volumes will be there. One is specific volume. I'll talk about in coming definition. This is total volume. Total volume always it is in meter cube. Okay, mass it will be in kgs. Okay, so if m is the mass of the fluid, okay, and v is the volume of the fluid, then the density can be defined as it is the ratio of mass of the fluid divided by volume of the fluid here. So it is denoted as the units, it is always density units is kg per meter cube here. Fine. So here in this you have to note down here is the density of the liquids or density of fluids always it is constant. Okay, because the variation with the density of the fluids with the variation with respect to pressure and temperature is very small or it can be neglected. I'll repeat, why density of the liquids is always constant in a sense. The variation with the density of the fluid or density of water with the variation with respect to the pressure and temperature. If it acts with respect to pressure and temperature, it is always a small here. Okay, so with respect to temperature and pressure, what happens? The density of the water variation will be very small. So therefore, always density of the liquids it is always constant here. That you have to note down here. Okay, so for gases, so it changes with respect to the pressure and temperature. I written what is meant by PT, pressure, it indicates pressure and temperature. So changes with the variation of gases with respect to pressure and temperature, or it goes on changes in case of gases. So therefore, the gases, what happens? The density of the gases does not remain constant here. Okay. So in this you have to note down one more point. The density of water always it is in, either you can denote as 1 gram per centimeter cube. If you convert that into meter cube, so it will normally it is density of water is 1000 kg per meter cube here. Fine. So this is what the density of the density or mass density definition talks about. Always it is the ratio of mass of the fluid to volume of the fluid. It is denoted as kg per meter cube. Okay. So units are very important. Note down. What do you mean by specific weight or weight density? Okay. Let me know with the figure here. So if V is the volume, if V is the volume acting, volume of the fluid is acting, it is in meter cube. Okay. If W is the weight of the fluid. Okay. So I am talking about the specific weight or weight density definition, that is denoted as small w. Okay. Small w indicates it is specific weight. Capital W indicates it is weight, total weight. That you have to note down the difference here. Okay. If V is the volume of the fluid, yes. If V is the volume of the fluid and the W, capital W is the weight of the fluid, it is in newtons. Okay. Therefore, the definition it talks about, the specific weight or weight density definition, it is a ratio of the weight of the fluid, okay, to the volume of the fluid. It is a ratio of weight of the fluid to the volume of the fluid is called as specific weight or weight density here. Okay, got the definition? So weight of the fluid to volume of the fluid is called as something about the specific weight, small w. It is in, so weight always it is in newtons, volume always it is in meter cube. So it is the units of the specific weight is Newton per meter cube. Otherwise, if you elaborate this, so in order to obtain the final specific weight, so what are different parameters we'll introduce here? So weight of the fluid, otherwise it can be written as, so already weight, you know, weight of the fluid means it is a product of mass of the fluid into the acceleration due to gravity. That is called as something about weight. Okay. So weight, otherwise it can be denoted as mass of the fluid, product of mass of the fluid and acceleration due to gravity. To otherwise again it is volume, to the volume of the fluid. So that is regarding weight. Okay. So once if you elaborate weight, what is weight? Therefore again mass of the fluid. Okay. So again the ratio talks about mass of the fluid to the volume of the fluid. Mass by volume, the numerator and denominator. Mass by volume, again it gives which definition? It gives about the density relation. So density is equal to mass by volume. So mass by volume, otherwise it can be written as rho. Okay. Therefore acceleration due to gravity, acceleration due to gravity can be written as, that is g here. Okay. So altogether the specific weight, the units are, okay, either you can write it in kilonewton per meter cube or you can write as Newton per meter cube. Okay. So this is the units of what? The specific weight. So specific weight of water. Okay. Again you have to note down here. So again specific weight of water can be written as, that is 1000, rho is 1000. Okay. Density of water is 1000 into the acceleration due to gravity, it is the constant value for different fluids. Okay, what happens? The value almost all it is nearer. I will show you the tabular column. Okay, so acceleration due to gravity is 9.81. So therefore altogether, if you rearrange the units here, so again it will try to come into Newton per meter cube here. This is the specific weight of water. Okay, value. That is W is equal to rho into G, final equation. That is W is equal to rho is 1000, density of water is 1000 into 9.81 gives the specific weight of water. So this is what the brief definition of the specific weight. So it is weight of the fluid by volume of the fluid. It is in Newton per meter cube. So again weight of the fluid can be written as mass of the fluid and acceleration due to gravity. So mass of the numerator and denominator, mass of the fluid divided by volume of the fluid gives my density into acceleration due to gravity gives g. So therefore again specific weight of water can be written as rho is 1000, means density of water is 1000 into 9.81 Newton per meter cube. So this is definition of specific weight. Now the third property in case of the fluid mechanics is that is specific volume, small v. You have to denote it as small v. So what do you mean by that specific weight? So if you see the figure, Okay. If V is the volume of the fluid and if M is the mass of the fluid, if V is the volume of the fluid meter cube, total volume, this is total volume. Okay, don't get confused, it is total volume meter cube. Then if M is the mass of the kg, so therefore, the specific volume small v, can be defined as it is the ratio of volume of the fluid per unit mass of the fluid, volume by mass. So it is, if you see here, density, what is density definition says? Density definition says it is mass by volume, but it is specific volume, it is the reciprocal. Okay, so it is the reciprocal. Therefore, again, if I write V is equal to, because it is a reciprocal of density, therefore I can write it as small v is equal to, I can write it as small v is equal to 1 divided by mass of the, because the specific volume, it is reciprocal of density. So I can write the above equation, volume of the fluid divided by mass of the fluid can be written as 1 divided by mass of the fluid divided by volume of the fluid. Therefore, again, if I write is equal to 1 by rho here, mass of the fluid, mass by volume is density, therefore 1 by rho. Since it is a reciprocal, okay, so it is in meter cube per kg, meter cube per kg. Always specific volume, it is in meter cube per kg. Just I'll repeat, density units is kg per meter cube, okay. Specific weight is, specific weight or weight density, second definition is Newton per meter cube. Then specific volume, it is in meter cube per kg. Reciprocal of density is nothing but the specific volume. Therefore, V is equal to 1 by rho, small v is equal to 1 by rho, therefore meter cube per kg. So this is the definition of specific volume. Always it is a reciprocal of what? Density. Fine. Now, after knowing the third property of fluid, then we will know the fourth property, that is specific gravity. Specific gravity plays an important role in the fluid mechanics. Okay. So what do you mean by specific gravity? So here there are two fluids will be there here. One, the normal fluid, one is standard fluid. Okay, in case of specific gravity. So what do you mean by definition? It says here, if it is the ratio of the weight density, it is the ratio of weight density of the fluid to weight density of what? The standard fluid here. Or density of the fluid divided by density of standard fluid. So here, the density of fluid, it is any fluid, either mercury or any fluid, we can take it. But here, the denominator is the standard fluid is water, you have to take it. Okay. Numerator, the fluid, the density of fluid, any fluid you can take it. Okay. Either density of the mercury, density of like oil or whatever it may be. Okay. So here, but standard fluid you have to take it as water here. That you have to note down. So again, if I elaborate this, okay. So that is the definition is clear. So density of fluid divided by density of standard fluid. So for liquids, again it can be written as, okay. So for liquids, so density of liquid, there are two ways you can, density of liquids and density of gases. So if I write density of liquid, the definition, what does it says? Okay. So weight density of liquid, okay, weight density of liquid to the weight density of water. Weight density of liquid to weight density of water. So it is denoted as, okay, the specific gravity of the liquid. So for gases, so I told you weight density of liquid to weight density of water. Liquid, you can take it any liquid here. So for gases, weight density of gases divided by weight density of gas. So gas, if I say standard gas will be the air here. That you have to note down. Okay. Therefore, if I elaborate this, okay, weight density of liquid can be written as, that is the specific gravity of liquid into weight density of water. So specific gravity of liquid, otherwise it can be written as, that is weight density of water can be written as in like previous equation if I have written, that is 1000 into 9.81 Newton per meter cube. So again, if I write density of the liquid, okay, so specific gravity into density of water. So S into density of water is 1000 kg per meter cube. So this is the brief, the definition of the specific gravity. So once the specific gravity of fluid is known, so you can calculate density of the fluid or density of the liquid here. Once specific gravity is known, you can calculate density of water is known to me, specific gravity is known to me, then you can calculate density of the fluid. Suppose for example, the specific gravity of mercury is 13.6. Fine. So if I know specific gravity of the mercury is 13.6, yes I know. So density of water is known, above equation. Density of water is known. Therefore, rho Hg or rho of fluid I have taken is mercury. So specific gravity is 13.6 into density of water is 1000. Therefore, 13,600 kg per meter cube. Density. So if I know specific gravity, I can calculate density of the fluid here. Fine. So this is what the brief introduction about the specific gravity. Fine. Now, if you see this table, previously I written what are the different the specific weight. Okay, specific weight. These are different specific weight values. So temperature of water. Okay, so I told you not much variation with the always specific weight of water is constant. That is what the table it indicates here. Okay, this table shows are different temperatures of water, 40 degrees Celsius or 50 degrees Celsius or 60, 70, 80, 90 like that. These are different temperatures of water. For different temperatures of water, the specific weight almost all it is closer. So for 40 degrees Celsius it is 9.81, 50 9.81, 60 9.80, 70 9.71, 80 9.78. Okay, like that for different temperatures, these are the values that are recorded. Means almost all it is nearer values. So it is very small. So always specific weight of water is constant. That is the 1000 into 9.81. So why we are taking 9.81 for different? This table shows for different temperatures of water. Okay, for different ranges of water. So always almost all the specific weight values are very closer or very small here. Not much variation of values will be there. Therefore, we are taking as a 9.81. Okay, clear? So that is what the table it indicates. Fine. So after knowing the four definition, one is what you mean by density, what you mean by like specific weight or weight density, what you mean by specific volume, what you mean by specific gravity. Let us know the small example, or let us solve small example in order to calculate how exactly we can calculate by means of properties of fluid. Okay, calculate specific weight W, first problem. Density, so we have to calculate specific weight, density, specific gravity, yes, of 1 liter of liquid which weighs 7 Newton, okay. Then what is exactly given here? So volume he has given, volume is 1 liter of liquid he has given. Weighs means 7 Newton means it is capital W, okay, capital W he has given. So weighs 7 Newton means it is capital W. So we need to calculate specific weight, small w, rho, and specific gravity. Fine. Then volume he has given 1 liter. Fine. So if I have to convert that to 1 liter to meter cube. So that is what the conversion you can see here. Liter to meter cube. Okay. So 1 liter is equal to 1 into 1000 centimeter cube, or 1 into 1000 is 1000 divided by centimeter to meter cube. So centimeter cube means totally 6 zeros will come. Okay. So 10 raised to 6 meter cube. So 1 divided to 3 zeros gets cancels, 1 divided by 1000 meter cube, or it can be written as 0.001 meter cube. So this is how you can convert a liter to meter cube here. Fine. So volume is known to me. Then you can weight is known to me, capital W is known to me, then you can calculate one by one. That is, so specific weight is equal to weight by volume, you know the formula. 7 Newton by 1 divided by 1000 meter cube, 7000 Newton per meter cube. Know the units. Okay. So specific weight it is in Newton per meter cube. Density it should be in kg per meter cube. Density is equal to, we know, specific weight is equal to rho into g, second definition. Okay, therefore from that you can write rho, density W by G. It is small w I am talking. Yeah, small w, specific weight I am talking, W by G. So 7000 divided by 9.81 kg per meter cube. So specific gravity, so we know the definition. Specific gravity is density of water to density of standard water. Okay, density of like liquid is known to me, fluid is known to me, 713.1. Density of water is 1000. So it is unitless. Specific gravity always it is unitless, because numerator denominator both are densities. So kg per meter cube, kg per meter cube, it will get cancelled. So therefore the specific gravity always it is unitless. Okay. So always either it will come nearer to 1 or less than 1 values. Always you have to note down the specific gravity. Fine. So second example, if you know, calculate density, specific weight, small w, and weight, capital W, of 1 liter of petrol of specific gravity 0.7. Specific gravity has given. Okay. So volume he has given 1 liter. So convert that into meter cube, 1 divided by 1000 meter cube, or something around 0.001 meter cube it will come. Therefore the specific gravity has given 0.7. So calculate one by one. So rho is equal to, we know that one because he has given specific gravity. So this the first point, rho is equal to S into 1000. That formula you have to put, because specific gravity he has given. S into 1000 kg per meter cube, that is 700 kg per meter cube. Okay. Then we need to calculate what? Specific weight. Small w is equal to rho into g. That is rho we know, then g we know, we can calculate Newton per meter cube. Then capital W, weight, we have to calculate. Weight can be calculated as, that is small w is equal to, the specific weight is equal to weight of the fluid divided by volume of the fluid. Okay. So specific weight is known to me, volume is known to me, then we can calculate what? Weight, that is 6.861 Newton. Okay. So that is what we can calculate if specific gravity is given. So these are the different the equation that will try to come into picture. Okay. Now let us talk about the fifth parameter or fifth properties of fluid, that is what do you mean by viscosity. Okay. What do you mean by viscosity? Tells about in our minds viscosity. If I say in our mind, okay, like different fluids will come. I think you have seen different fluids. Kerosene you have seen, water you have seen, okay. Then syrup, okay, syrup you have seen. Then you have seen ketchup, tomato sauce you have seen. Okay, different tutti oils, castor oil, or different oils you have seen. Okay, so for different fluids, the viscosity goes on. The viscosity goes on changes here. That is what I am trying to talk about. Viscosity tells about the thickness. Fine. I think you have seen grease. Okay, so grease you have seen. Okay, what is the use of that? That is called exactly the viscosity means. What do you mean by that viscosity? Mu. Viscosity can be called as mu here. Fine. So it is the measure of resistance of fluid. Okay. Measure of resistance of the first point is, it is a measure of resistance of the fluid. Okay. What happens to gradual deformation by shear or tensile stress? What happens here? It is a measure of resistance of the fluid to gradual deformation. Means there is a gradual deformation will be there by under the action of shear or tensile stress. That is called as something about viscosity. Means we have to measure, it measures the resistance of the fluid. How far? Okay, it will resist the heat. Suppose for example we are using the oils in engines, in our bikes we are using. Suppose if we are going for servicing, he will change that oil. Why we are changing that oil? Because inside the components, well, the bike is running, what happens? The components, the linkages or whatever the attachments are, whatever the engine that is there, it gets heated. Okay. Okay, the components gets heated here because friction will be more. That friction has to be, or when friction is more, what happens? Heat will create, heat generated will be more. That heat has to be absorbed. Okay, so for that we are using some viscosity such that it will try to absorb the heat here. So it will try to resist. Okay, it will try to absorb the heat here. That is what I am trying to talk about here. So it will measure the resistance of the fluid, how far it will resist the fluid, that heat it will resist the fluid. Okay, so that's what we are using, castor oil or whatever types of oil which is having higher thickness. The thickness should be more because what happens, it has to absorb heat, then it has to resist the temperature. Okay, so for longer duration it has to resist. So therefore, that is what I am talking about, the resistance of the fluid here. So it will measure the resistance of the fluid. So what happens under gradual deformation by under the action of shear or tensile stress, or it is a measure of internal friction of moving fluid. Okay, it is the measure of internal friction of moving fluid, or it tells about the property of fluid which offers resistance. Okay, another definition I'm talking about. So it is the property of fluid which offers resistance between what? Between movement of one layer over adjacent layer of the fluid. Okay. Suppose there are two layers are there. Just if I talk about the figure, okay, which offers resistance between the movement of the one layer to the adjacent layer of another fluid. Suppose for example, if I talk about the figure, there are different layers are there here. Okay, the first layer, second layer, and third layer. That is what my definition talks. So this is the fluid that is flowing. This is the fluid you can assume. Okay, so in that fluid there are different layers are there. You can assume like that. So what happens? My definition says it offers the resistance of the fluid. Okay, between one layer to the adjacent layer of another fluid. That is called as viscosity. Okay, it offers resistance. It will resist the fluid between one layer to the adjacent layer of another fluid here. That is called as viscosity here. Fine. So if I talk about the the figure of how exactly the viscosity changes between the distances and velocities. Okay, how exactly the velocity profile will come. Let us talk about here. Now, something I have written there, parameters, the top parameter I have written something about u. If u is the velocity of the fluid, okay, if u is the velocity of the fluid, then if u plus du is a change in velocity, so as the u, total u is traveling, what happens? Uh, the u plus du is change in velocity means when I offer resistance under shear stress, what happens? It will changes its shape. When it changes its shape, u changes to u plus du. That is what I am talking about. Because there are two layers will be there here, layer 1 and layer 2. When shear stress or stress is applied between the fluids, what happens? It offers a resistance between the movement of one layer to the adjacent layer of another fluid. If I apply the stress on u, then what happens? It will changes its shape or it undergo deformation under the action of stress. When it undergo the deformation under the action of stress, it will changes from u to u plus du. That is what the u talks about, or change in velocity talks about. If u is the velocity or u plus du is the change in velocity, and the two layers are kept apart some distance dy. Dy is the distance between the two layers. Okay, so dy is kept apart. Kept apart in the sense u is separate and u plus du is separate. Then it undergoes stress, so then only u plus du will come into picture. That distance is dy. Okay, so therefore, if I talk about this velocity profile, then how exactly it will come? The bottom, it is fixed. One layer is fixed and one layer will be moving here. Then what happens? Red color Y indicates it is the distance. Okay, distance between two parallel plates. You can assume the two parallel plates are there. So in between the two parallel plates, the fluid will be flowing. Okay. So the distance between the bottom, the surface, horizontal surface, and top surface is the distance is y here. That like that you can assume here. Okay. So dy is, I told you in upper figure also you can just make a difference. Dy is the two layers kept apart. One is u is total velocity, and one is u plus du. When it will try to come into picture, when the shear stress is applied, it undergo deformation. It will change its shape. Then only u plus du will come into picture. Okay. Then that distance, it is du is nothing but the change in velocity. Du, total du is nothing but change in velocity. If dy is the distance kept apart between two fluids, two layers. Okay. If du is the total, what exactly with the velocity profile, you can see the curve. When this curve will come, when shear stress is applied, then only the curve velocity profile, it will try to change from u to u plus du. That is what you need to understand. Okay. So this is the how exactly the velocity profile will try to come into picture. If u is the velocities, I told you meters per second square, and dy is the two fluids at a distance in meter, and f is the force in newtons. If a is the area in meter square, if tau, it can be called as a tau. Tau is the shear stress, and mu is the viscosity or the constant of proportionality, or otherwise it is called as dynamic viscosity also. Otherwise it can be called as Newton's law of viscosity also. There are four things you can call as. Mu can be called as viscosity, dynamic viscosity, or Newton's law of viscosity, or coefficient of viscosity also you can call as, or constant of proportionality. Therefore, okay, what happens? The shear stress is directly proportional to what? The rate of shear strain here. Okay, the shear stress is directly proportional to rate of shear strain. That is what I am talking about. The viscosity means, according to this law, what happens? Okay, so according to this law, what happens? The top layer causes a shear stress on adjacent lower layer. Okay, so what happens when the lower layer causes a shear stress on the adjacent top layer? What happens? So both are simultaneously. The top layer will be acting shear stress on bottom layer, or bottom layer will be acting shear stress on top layer. Okay, what happens? The shear stress is directly proportional to rate of change of velocity with respect to y. Okay, so therefore, so when shear stress is directly proportional to shear strain, because the top layer stress will be acting on the bottom layer, or the bottom layer in turn will be acting on shear stress on the top layer. Therefore, shear stress is directly proportional to shear strain here. Therefore, tau is directly proportional to du by dy. Therefore, tau is equal to mu into du by dy. So again, it can be written where du by dy is velocity gradient, or otherwise it can be called as rate of shear strain, otherwise it can be called as rate of deformation. So therefore, mu, it can be written as mu is equal to tau by du by dy. So this is what exactly the brief concept behind the viscosities here. Fine. So therefore, finally viscosity can be written as mu is equal to tau by du by dy. Okay. So after knowing brief the introduction about viscosity, let us understand the units, because what is the units of viscosity? So units of viscosity can be written as, according to the definition, shear stress divided by the velocity gradient, change of velocity by change of distance. If I write the shear stress force per unit area, or length by time, change of velocity can be written as length by time, and change of distance can be written as 1 by length. So if you rearrange the terms, so finally, so force into time divided by the length square, or the viscosity mu can be written as the units. Force, it is in Newton, time it is in seconds, s is seconds, and length square it is in meter square. So always viscosity units will be Newton second per meter square. Always viscosity units will be Newton second per meter square. Otherwise, Newton per meter square can be written as. So from this, Newton per meter square can be written as Pascal. Pascal seconds. This is another way of writing the viscosities. 1 Newton per meter square is equal to Pascal. Okay, 1 Pascal is equal to 1 Newton per meter square. Okay, so Newton per meter square can be written as Pascal into seconds. This is another way you can write. So altogether, the units of viscosity is Newton second per meter square. Fine. In CGS system is there are 3 units will be there. One is SI units, one is MKS units, and one is CGS units. Okay. Okay. So, we are following almost all SI units. Okay. Then MKS unit talks about the English units, means metric units, but we are not following metric, or we are not either following CGS units. But sometimes in problem, if he gives the units in terms of the poise or stroke, sometimes viscosity can be units of viscosity, it is mentioned in poise. Fine. Sometimes if we mention in poise, that poise is nothing but CGS system. It is in CGS system. So if it gives us in poise, then we have to convert that into again our SI units. Okay, that you should know here. Okay. CGS means centigrade system. Okay. So sometimes mu it is in poise. In CGS system, mu can be called in poise. But in SI system already we have defined it is Newton second per meter square. So in CGS system, it is in poise. Or 1 poise can be written as 1 dyne, dyne. So if I see here, 1 dyne second per centimeter square. Okay. 1 dyne second per centimeter square. That is called as poise units. 1 poise can be written as 1 dyne second per centimeter square. Okay. So if mu is in poise, it must be divided by 10. Okay. Just directly I am telling this because there are some relations are there that it is not required for you. Okay. If mu is in poise, it must be divided by 10 to get it equivalent value in SI units. Okay. Mu is given in poise, it must be divided by 10 to get in the values of SI units. Sometimes mu is in centipoise. One is poise, one is centipoise. You have to divide by 1 by 100. Okay. 1 centipoise is equal to centi means centimeter. So 1 Cp is equal to 1 divided by 100 poise here. Okay. How exactly it will come, you can understand by this small relation how exactly it can be converted, or it can be divided by 10 here. That is what I am trying to tell here. 1 poise can be written as 1 dyne second per centimeter. This is the units of poise. Again, the dyne can be written as, again, 1 dyne is equal to 1 gram into 1 centimeter per second square. This is dyne units again. Okay. Here. So this dyne. Okay. So 1 poise is equal to 1 dyne second per centimeter square. Again, dyne can be written as 1 gram into 1 centimeter per second square. So again, remaining thing is second per centimeter square as it is. Or it can be written as, okay, one S gets cancelled, so 1 centimeter get cancelled there. Again, it can be written as 1 gram per second centimeter. So 1 gram is equal to 1000, already we know, 1 by 1000 kg. S into second into centimeter can be written as 1 by 100. Okay. So therefore, if I rearrange in the terms, 1 poise is equal to 1 divided by 1000 into 100. 2 zeros gets cancels. Okay. So it is 1 divided by 10 kg per second meter. Okay. So that is how the poise can be converted to SI units. So always you have to divide it by 10 to get the value in SI units. Okay. Or 1 kg per centimeter can be written as a 10 poise here. That is how when viscosity is given in poise. Okay. Always you have to divide it by 10 in order to convert or in order to obtain in SI units. That is what you need to note down here. Fine. So that is what the difference you need to understand when the units are given in poise, especially for viscosity. Fine. Then what do you mean by kinematic viscosity? Nu, it can be called as a nu. Okay. So it is defined as viscosity or dynamic viscosity to the density of the fluid. Okay, kinematic viscosity can be defined as, so it is viscosity or dynamic viscosity of the fluid to the density of the fluid. So viscosity or dynamic viscosity can be otherwise, it can be written as mu by rho. Mu by rho. Okay. So I written there units Newton second per meter square. Mu, only mu it is in Newton second per meter square. Okay. Now if I convert that, what is the units of kinematic viscosity? The definition is clear. It is the ratio of the viscosity to the density of the fluid, can be called as the kinematic viscosity. Okay. Then nu can be written as, the purpose of writing their units Newton second per meter square, upper. Okay. So Newton it is in force. I am writing mu units. Newton it is in force. Second time. Okay. Divided by what? The meter square. Meter square is length square. I am telling mu units. Mu units it is in Newton second per meter square, that I am elaborating here. Okay. Just right hand side corner, Newton second per meter square. Newton it is in force and second it is in times. Okay. Divided by meter square is length square. Then definition below that numerator, density. Density is mass kg per meter cube. That is mass divided by meter cube is length cube. That is the definition of the density. Okay. So Newton second per meter square is over into the density. So if I rearrange the terms, that is force into time divided by length gets cancelled, mass divided by length here. So therefore if I rearrange the terms, again the force can be written as, mass into acceleration. Mass into acceleration. Acceleration again units is meters per second square. Fine. So force can, otherwise it can be elaborated as mass into acceleration. That is mass into acceleration units is length divided by time square into time divided by mass by length here. So altogether if I rearrange the terms, length square divided by time here. Mass gets cancelled, length, everything gets cancelled here. Time gets cancelled, length square divided by time. So the kinematic viscosity, the units are meter square per second. Meter square per second. Fine. That is what the units you need to understand. Okay. You people. So whatever the definition I told you, please list the units, the different properties of the fluid I have talked about in this class. List the units. What is the units of density? What is the units of specific weight? What is the units of viscosity? What is the units of specific gravity? Everything you list it out. Okay, you will come to know the units of different. Because while solving the problem, these units are very important here. Without mentioning of units, no marks will be given. Okay. Then after knowing brief discussion about the kinematic viscosity nu, okay, then in SI units, the nu it is in, I told you, meter square per second. But again, if you use in centigrades, CGS system, like as that of mu we have seen poise can be called for that is viscosity, whereas in case of CGS system, in case of kinematic viscosity, it is called a stoke. One stoke, S-T-O-K-E, stoke. Okay. If he has given in terms of stoke, especially kinematic viscosity, how exactly it will come? One stoke is equal to, can be written as centimeter square per second. One stoke can be written as centimeter square per second. Centimeter square to meter square. 1 divided by 100 square meter square per second. One stoke is equal to 10 raised to minus 4 meter square per second. Okay. So therefore, 1 centistroke is equal. This is 1 stroke is equal to 10 raised to minus 4 meter square per second. That is stroke is over. 1 centistroke can be written as 1 by 100 stroke here. So if he gives kinematic viscosity in terms of stroke, okay, these are the units. 1 stroke is equal to 10 raised to minus 4 meter square per second. That you have to multiply with the corresponding values. In problem, I'll try to mention this. Fine. So 1 centistroke is equal to 1 by 100 stroke here. Fine. So that is what the units of the kinematic viscosity. Then what is Newton's law of viscosity? Again, that is, again it can be called as mu. Okay, Newton's law of viscosity or dynamic viscosity, or simply it can be called as viscosity also. So Newton's law of viscosity, which obeys all the fluids, means the law which obeys all the which grants all the fluids, that is called as Newton's law of viscosity. Means the shear stress tau on a fluid element is directly proportional to rate of shear strain. Okay, shear stress on the fluid element is directly proportional to rate of shear strain. Means one layer, when I apply a stress, okay, so adjacent layer, the stress will be acting on the adjacent layer also. When same thing, simultaneously both the layers, on both the layers stress will be acting. Okay, that is what it can be called as, means the Newton's law of viscosity, means stress is directly proportional to the rate of shear strain here. That is tau is equal to mu into du by dy. Now with respect to the viscosity, how exactly the variation will be there with respect to temperature? That is very important in case of, especially in case of fluid mechanics. Viscosity, how exactly variation will be there with respect to temperature. Now for liquids, viscosity of the liquids, what happens in case of liquids? It gets decreases. Viscosity in liquids, especially in liquids, it gets decreases with increase in temperature. Always in case of liquids, the viscosity gets decreases when there is a increase in temperature. When temperature goes on increases, what happens? Viscosity of the liquids gets decreases. Okay. Whereas in case of gases, viscosity of gases, with respect to temperature, for gases it goes on increases. For gases, it increases with increase in temperature. In liquids especially, what happens? It gets decreases. Viscosity of the liquids decreases with increase in temperature. Whereas in case of gases, it increases. Viscosity of the gases, it goes on increases with increase in temperature. Why viscosity of the liquids get decreases? Already I told you in starting classes. Okay, why the viscosity of the liquid get decreases? Because in viscosity of the liquids, what happens? I told you the cohesive forces are predominant. Means there is a domination of, especially in case of liquids, what happens? The cohesive forces are very dominant. Means in liquids the intermolecular attraction will be more, or the cohesive forces are strong. When these cohesive forces are strong, what happens? When I subjected to temperature, okay, because the molecules are little bit closer, okay, attraction will be more. When temperature goes on increases, the molecules, it will try to depart, it will get loosen. Okay, so what happens? The viscosity of that liquids gets decreases when there is an increase in temperature. Means intermolecular bonds, whatever the bonds, intermolecular momentum of the molecules will get decreases when it is subjected to temperature. So therefore the cohesive forces normally it will try to lose here. So therefore the viscosity of the liquids get decreases with increase in temperature. Whereas for gases, because it is a gas, the volume it is not fixed, the intermolecular, the cohesive forces are small here. Okay, there is no dominant of cohesive forces. So therefore what happens? In case of gases, it goes on increases because there is a more volume variation will be there. Okay, the temperature, when temperature goes on increases, normally viscosity of the gases also goes on increases. That is what is the variation of viscosity with respect to temperature? How exactly with respect to liquids or with respect to gases? What happens here? Fine. Then relation between, just you know this, that's all. Okay, relation between viscosity and the temperature of the liquids. Okay, relation between viscosity and temperature of the liquids and gases are given below. For liquids, it is mu is equal to mu naught. There is no particular derivation is there. Just This is tells about the relationship between viscosity and the temperature of the liquids and gases. Just it is an equation. Already the values, everything it is been derived. Okay. For liquids, mu is equal to mu naught into 1 by 1 plus alpha t plus beta t square. This is for liquids, the equation. Okay, relationship between viscosity and the temperature it gives here. Okay. Then where mu is viscosity of liquid at T degree Celsius at some temperature, where mu naught is viscosity of liquid at 0 degree Celsius. Alpha and beta are constant. Alpha and beta are constant. That particular values will be there for that. Okay. Then if temperatures are known to me, then if alpha and beta are known to me, then at some 0 degrees already mu naught is in 0 degrees Celsius, and I can calculate what is exactly viscosity of that particular fluid here or particular liquid. Okay. Then for gases, mu is equal to okay, mu naught plus alpha t minus beta t square. Okay. So again, alpha and beta are constant. Then if mu naught is known to me, mu naught is something about viscosity of the liquids at 0 degrees Celsius. Okay. Then alpha and beta are known to me, then you can calculate what is exactly the mu here. Fine. That is what you need to understand, the relationship between the viscosity and the temperature here. Okay. So for liquids, what happens? Sorry for disturbance. So mu is equal to, okay. So mu is equal to, that is the first equation it talks about. The first equation talks about mu is equal to mu naught into 1 by 1 plus alpha t beta. What is that equation talks about? What happens? As the temperature gets increases, first equation, as the temperature gets increases, okay, what happens? The viscosity goes on decreases here. Viscosity of the fluid goes on decreases. But here, as the temperature goes on increases in second equation, the viscosity also goes on increases. That is what the equation it talks about. Okay, fine, dear. Thank you, students. Thank you for your attention in this class. Okay, stay safe. Follow SMS rules here. Okay. Thank you one and all for your attention. Thank you very much.